Friends of Islam, this time the Islamic faith is back before you to share Islamic information. I hope it inspires your activities today, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and activate the bell button notifications so you don't miss the latest news from the Islamic Faith channel. The number of Muslims is predicted by various research institutions to continue to increase in Europe and the United States. The results of the study remind us of the words of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, narrated by Imam Abu Dawud, that the number of Muslims will be large but like foam in a puddle. In several states and regions in the United States, Muslims are also increasing in number. Here are the 10 regions in America with the largest Muslim populations. 1. North Carolina. Total Muslim population, 130,661. North Carolina's Muslim community is diverse, including people from countries such as Pakistan, Somalia, and Bangladesh, as well as those who have converted to Islam. The state has many mosques that serve as places of worship and community activities for Muslims. The first mosque, built more than 65 years ago, is a testament to the long history of Muslims in North Carolina. Because of the large number of Muslims living in North Carolina, universities located in the state, including Duke University and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, have developed specialized academic programs in Islamic studies. The Muslim community in Raleigh, North Carolina, United States, is asking Shaw University authorities to reopen the mosque on campus so that local Muslims can worship. The Muslim community is questioning why the campus mosque has not yet been reopened. Shaw University Mosque was closed during the COVID-19 crisis. However, after going through that phase, the campus decided not to reopen it. Meanwhile, the Christian chapel on campus has been open to the public for regular services. University representatives have not explained the decision to local Muslims. On Friday, January 27, 2023, dozens of Muslim protesters prayed for those who could no longer worship on campus. As previously announced, the International Studies Center on the Shaw University campus is open and available for use by registered students. Access to the mosque by Shaw students is coordinated through the University Chaplain's Office. After the pandemic, the campus mosque will only be available to currently enrolled Shaw University students. Revised center hours will be communicated directly to students. Edwards pointed out that the mosque and its building were built in 1983 with a $1 million gift from the Saudi royal family on the condition that it would be a community mosque. This building would not be here if it were not for the donation of Muslims to build this building and a mosque inside it. That was the condition that Shaw University accepted when they accepted the money, Edwards said. Despite being a minority religious group in the United States, the Islamic community has been able to continue to survive. In fact, through mosques and Islamic centers, the Islamic community in the United States has been able to continue to grow and survive the negative stigmas addressed to them. This is as shown by the Islamic Center in Asheville, an area in the western part of Morganton City, North Carolina, United States. The Islamic Center Asheville, located on Old Fairview Road, is a gathering place and center of activities, as well as worship for the Muslim community, most of whom are immigrants from various countries. The Islamic Center Asheville is indeed used as a mosque and is the only mosque in the western part of Morganton City. According to the president of the Islamic Center of Asheville, Khalid Bashir, the Muslim community in North Carolina has existed for decades. Members of the Muslim community in North Carolina, specifically in Asheville, are mostly immigrants from various countries and have had families and children in North Carolina. However, Bashir also said that there are several families who are North Carolina residents and they have converted to Islam. There are indeed some people who are natives from here, and they have declared their faith probably since the late 70s to the 80s. Currently, there are at least 75 to 100 Muslim families who are around the Islamic Center area. Most of them are immigrants from various parts of the world. One of the North Carolina residents who embraced Islam is Joseph Gant. He admitted that he had embraced Islam 15 years ago. Not only him, his mother and sister also embraced Islam. Gant also became one of the regular congregants at the Islamic Center Asheville, including when he gathered with 60 other congregants to perform Friday prayers, which were held in one part of the Islamic Center building. Gant said, "Unlike the development of Islam in other countries, The development of the Muslim community in North Carolina is not based on cultural or ethnic similarities, but rather the factor of religion itself. This is inseparable from the many ethnic and cultural backgrounds in North Carolina, not to mention the negative stigma they often get, namely religion that is considered identical to violence and terrorism. We don't have enough people to build a mosque in one place and in another place, but we have to come together here together. We know the one thing that makes us the same is Islam itself, Gaunt said. Gaunt realized that the existence of the Islamic Center also provides an opportunity for the local Muslim community to share, learn, and strengthen each other. However, the strengthening is not in terms of culture or ethnicity, but rather strengthening in terms of religious knowledge. Gaunt also said that the Islamic Center Asheville is not merely a place of worship, but has become a center for community activities. The Islamic Center Asheville does open its doors to Muslims, non-Muslims, and student groups to get to know Islam and the Quran better. In addition, like a community center, the Islamic Center also provides free food for the less fortunate and homeless, which is held every Friday prayer. The existence of the Islamic Center Asheville is indeed inseparable from the struggle of the local Muslim community to have a representative place. Finally, with self-funding, they were able to rent a place and build the Islamic Center. Bashir said that the congregation at the Islamic Center is quite heterogeneous. In addition to local residents, there are also many immigrants from various countries. Here, the Muslim community is quite heterogeneous. In addition to local residents and African Americans, there are also those from the Caucasian race. High Point, North Carolina, is home to a diverse Muslim community made up of people from a variety of ethnic and cultural backgrounds. While the majority of Muslims in High Point are African American, there are also a large number of immigrants from Arab, Pakistani, and other Islamic countries. The Muslim community in High Point is centered around several mosques and Islamic centers, which provide a variety of services and resources for their members. One of the largest and most prominent is the Islamic Center of High Point, located on Brentwood Street. The Islamic Center of High Point was founded in the early 1980s and has since grown into a hub for the Muslim community in the area. The center offers a variety of services and programs, including daily prayer, Quran classes, and social events. In addition, the center provides educational resources and support for new Muslims and converts to Islam. Another important Islamic institution in High Point is the Al-Rahman Mosque, located on Phillips Avenue. The mosque was founded in the early 1990s and serves as a gathering place for Muslims from across the city. The mosque provides a variety of services, including daily prayers, Quran classes, and social events. It also offers educational resources and support for new Muslims. The Muslim community in High Point is also served by the Triad Islamic Center, located in Greensboro. The center provides a variety of services to Muslims in the Triad area, including educational resources, social events, and community outreach programs. One of the challenges facing the Muslim community in High Point is the lack of understanding and awareness of Islam and Muslims in the wider community. There have been instances of discrimination and bigotry directed at Muslims in the area, leading to feelings of alienation and marginalization. To address this, the Muslim community is actively involved in outreach and education efforts, working to build bridges with the wider community and promote understanding and acceptance of Islam. This includes participating in interfaith events and partnering with local organizations to serve the wider community. Overall, the Muslim community in High Point is a vibrant and diverse group of people, united by their faith and commitment to serving their community. Through their mosque and Islamic center, they provide a variety of services and resources to their members while working to promote understanding and acceptance of Islam among the wider community. For the Islamic New Year, members of the Muslim Community Center of Charlotte, North Carolina, plan to celebrate the occasion with a communal prayer and a lecture on the Prophet Muhammad's migration from Mecca to Medina. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, taught us that in terms of religion, as Muslims, we only have two holidays, Ederer said, referring to Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. The Islamic New Year is the day that marks the beginning of a new Islamic calendar year. The first day of the year is the first day of Muharram. Muharram is one of the 4 holy months of the Islamic year, and Muslims consider it the second holiest month after Ramadan. The Hijri calendar began in 622 CE with the migration of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, from Mecca to Medina, known as the Hijra. Muslims use this lunar Hijri calendar to calculate the times of prayer, fasting, Hajj, and other religious celebrations. While some determine the new month by the sighting of the moon, most Islamic countries follow astronomical calculations. 2. Arizona. Muslim population percentage, 1.5% total. Muslim population, 109,765. In recent years, Arizona has seen a rapid growth in the Muslim population due to immigration and conversion. The Muslim community living in Arizona is quite diverse, with residents coming from South Asian, Southeast Asian, and African countries. Muslims in Arizona have also become more involved in civic and political activities in the past decade. The state's growing Muslim population has led to the establishment of several mosques and Islamic centers, including the Islamic Community Center of Phoenix, ICCP, and the Tempe Mosque. The Muslim community in Arizona, United States, did not want to respond to criticism with hatred. They instead chose to hold a peaceful event called Love, Not Hate, in response to the demonstration of hundreds of anti-Islamic masses at the Arizona Mosque last week. We ask that you bring flowers as a symbol of love and care. The organizers said the Love Not Hate event aims to spread peaceful and inclusive Islamic teachings. The event was initiated by an interfaith community. They will hold joint prayer and lecture activities. The hope is that fellow religious people can spread the message of love, not hatred. There were about 20 interfaith groups involved. Carrying roses and tulips, they all opposed the anti-Muslim demonstration that included insults to Islam and the Prophet Muhammad. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. There are many things that differentiate our faiths from each other. A Muslim woman in Arizona, United States, has become the first Muslim judge in the state of Arizona. Lila Ikram, a Muslim woman who has been inaugurated as a judge, also making a record as the first judge in Arizona history who is Muslim. Becoming a pro tempora judge, or abbreviated pro tem, is like being a substitute teacher. These judges fill in various things when full-time judges are unable to carry out their duties. Therefore, serving as a pro tem judge can actually be a starting point to make a leap until finally being appointed as a permanent judge. Muslim life in Arizona, United States is quite diverse and reflects the cultural and religious plurality of the state. Arizona has a growing Muslim population, consisting of various ethnic backgrounds such as Arab, South Asian, African, and others. This community is mostly concentrated in metropolitan areas such as Phoenix and Tucson. In Arizona, there are several mosques and Islamic community centers that serve as places of worship, education, and social activities. In Phoenix, there is the Islamic Community Center of Phoenix, ICCP, one of the largest mosques in the state. Arizona has several Islamic schools that offer education in accordance with the general American curriculum, but also integrate Islamic religious education. These schools, such as Arizona Cultural Academy in Phoenix, provide a conducive learning environment for Muslim students, where they can learn about their religion while receiving a secular education. Arizona's Muslim community engages in a variety of interfaith dialogues and cross-community activities. Many Muslim organizations work with other faith groups to build harmonious and respectful relationships. Events such as breaking the fast together during Ramadan, which invites non-Muslim neighbors, are common forms of interaction that help build better understanding between Muslims and the wider community. Although the Muslim community in Arizona is relatively well received, they still face challenges such as negative stereotypes and Islamophobia. Some Muslims report experiencing discrimination or unfair treatment in their daily lives. However, many Muslim communities are active in advocacy in efforts to raise public awareness of Islam and contribute positively to their local communities. Islam has indeed experienced significant growth in Arizona and the United States in general. In Arizona, Islam is becoming more well-known, and the Muslim community continues to grow, both through immigration, births, and conversions. Arizona, like many other parts of the United States, has seen a growth in its Muslim population over the past few decades. This is largely due to immigration from Muslim-majority countries, such as those in the Middle East, South Asia, and Africa. In addition, there has been a conversion to Islam among the local population. As the number of Muslims increases, more mosques, Islamic community centers, and Islamic schools are being established in Arizona. These infrastructures not only serve the needs of worship, but also serve as social and educational centers, helping to strengthen community ties and provide a place for people to learn and practice their religion. Many Islamic organizations in Arizona are active in dawah and education, whether through mosques, schools, or community centers. They hold classes, seminars, and programs to increase understanding of Islam among Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Many people in Arizona are attracted to Islam for a variety of reasons, including an interest in the spiritual values of Islam, a sense of solidarity with the Muslim community, or through interactions with Muslim friends and neighbors. The conversion process is also supported by community efforts to provide support and education to those who have recently converted to Islam. Interfaith dialogue activities involving Muslims and other religious communities also contribute to the growth of Islam. Through dialogue and cooperation, there is an increased understanding and acceptance of Islam, which helps create a more inclusive and supportive environment for the growth of this religion. The Muslim community in Arizona continues to grow, both in terms of numbers and infrastructure. With the increasing number of mosques, Islamic schools, and community centers, Muslims living in Arizona can easily find spiritual and social support. Having a strong community also provides a sense of community and support, which is important for those who are new to the faith. Arizona is generally known as a place that is friendly and open to many cultures and religions. While there are challenges like many other places, Arizona has a reputation as a place where people from all walks of life can live together peacefully. Many Muslims feel accepted here and can practice their religion freely. 3. Massachusetts. Muslim population. Percentage 1.9% with number of Muslim residents. 131,749. In Massachusetts, most Muslims live in the greater Boston area, where you can find numerous mosques, Islamic schools, and community organizations. Notable mosques and Muslim community centers in Massachusetts include the Islamic Center of New England, ICNE, the Islamic Society of Greater Worcester, ISGW, and the Muslim American Community Center of Lexington, MACL. These organizations not only provide a place of worship for Muslims in the area, but also spread Islamic education and host social events for the community. Massachusetts is ranked 8th in the list of states with the highest Muslim population in the U.S. Islam and Muslims have a rich history in Massachusetts, and the city has been home to a diverse group of Muslim immigrants from a variety of backgrounds. Boston's Muslim population has grown significantly over the years, with many immigrants coming from Arab countries such as Egypt, Lebanon, and Palestine, as well as from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Somalia. As of 2021, there are an estimated 100,000 Muslims in the Massachusetts area. A 31-year-old Muslim woman, Sumbul Siddiqui, has been elected as the first Muslim mayor in the U.S. state of Massachusetts. Siddiqui was elected unanimously on the first ballot by her fellow city council members. After the vote, the room erupted in applause. As mayor, she has made creating more affordable housing her priority. When she was elected mayor, she was in her second term as a council member. According to Jetpack Inc., a nonprofit organization that works to get Muslim Americans elected, Siddiqui is the first Muslim mayor in the state of Massachusetts. 4. Minnesota. Thousands of Muslims reportedly gathered to attend the annual Minnesota Muslim Convention in Minneapolis, U.S., Saturday, 9/16/2023. Visitors who attended received a unique spiritual retreat, while also meeting members of the Muslim community from across the state. Coming from countries as diverse as Bosnia, Somalia, and Iraq, Muslims in Minnesota contribute to the state's rich cultural diversity. The community includes Muslims not only from different cultures and backgrounds, but also from different sects. As such, there are many mosques and community centers in Minnesota that cater to a variety of cultural needs. Among them are the Dar al-Hijra Mosque in Minneapolis, the Islamic Community Center of Minnesota, ICCM, and Mass, Minnesota. The Minnesota Muslim Convention is an annual event that brings together Muslims from Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Wisconsin in the United States. The Muslim community gathers for a weekend of spiritual and educational programs. It is the largest and most diverse convention in the 5-state region. Attendees come from all ages and backgrounds, with a passion for learning, connecting, and growing. Islam in Minnesota, United States has a long history that dates back to the 19th century. Minnesota, like many states in the United States, has seen significant growth in its Muslim community, especially during the 20th and 21st centuries. As the Muslim population has grown, so has the number of mosques and Islamic community centers. Mosques such as Masjid an-Nur in Minneapolis have become centers of religious and social activity for the Muslim community. Despite its growth, Minnesota's Muslim community also faces challenges such as discrimination and Islamophobia. However, many Muslim organizations have worked to promote a better understanding of Islam and facilitate the integration of the Muslim community into broader American society. Minnesota's Muslim population has grown rapidly over the past few decades, especially with increased immigration from Muslim-majority countries, such as Somalia, Ethiopia, and the Muslim Hmong community from Laos. Today, it is estimated that there are more than 150,000 Muslims living in Minnesota, making it one of the largest Muslim communities in the United States. The majority of Minnesota's Muslim community is concentrated in the Twin Cities area, namely Minneapolis and St. Paul. Minneapolis is known for being home to one of the largest Somali communities in the United States, while St. Paul has a diverse Muslim community, including immigrants from various countries and African American Muslims. The Muslim population in Minnesota continues to grow, not only due to immigration, but also due to high birth rates and religious conversions. With this growth, the Muslim community in Minnesota is increasingly playing a significant role in the social, cultural, and political life of the state. 5. Virginia. Muslim population percentage, 2%. Muslim population, 169,371. The number of Muslims in Virginia increased in the 20th century, especially after immigration from Bosnia and Herzegovina in the 1990s. As the Muslim community grew in Virginia, several mosques and Muslim cultural centers were built throughout the state. Virginia's proximity to Washington, D.C. has attracted many Muslim immigrants to the state. Notable mosques and cultural centers in Virginia include the Dar al-Noor Islamic Community Center in Manassas, the All Dulles Area Muslim Society, Adams in Sterling, and the Islamic Society of Greater Richmond, ISGR. The Muslim population in Virginia, United States, is part of the larger Muslim community in the United States. While specific data on the Muslim population in Virginia is difficult to obtain because the U.S. Census does not collect data by religion, there are some estimates and information that can provide a picture of the Muslim community in the state. According to various estimates, the Muslim population in Virginia is estimated to be in the tens of thousands. They come from a variety of ethnic and cultural backgrounds, including Arab, South Asian, African, and Native American descent. In some larger cities such as Fairfax, Arlington, and Richmond, the Muslim community is more prominent and has a significant presence. Virginia has a number of mosques and Islamic community centers that serve as places of worship, education, and social activities for Muslims. Some well-known mosques include the Dar al-Hijra Islamic Center in Falls Church and the Islamic Center of Virginia in Richmond. In addition, there are several organizations that support and advocate for the rights of Muslims in Virginia. Muslims in Virginia practice their religion by attending mosques for the 5 daily prayers, especially Friday prayers, which are the main prayers of the week. Mosques also serve as centers for other religious activities such as religious studies, Quran classes, and programs for children. During the month of Ramadan, the Muslim community actively participates in fasting, Taraweeh prayers, and breaking the fast together at mosques. Religious education is very important for the Muslim community in Virginia. In addition to public schools, many Muslim families send their children to Islamic schools or attend weekend education programs at mosques. These schools not only teach the general curriculum, but also religious education, Arabic language, and Quran study. Parents also often hold religious studies at home as part of informal religious education. Virginia, one of the states in the United States that is a comfortable home for Muslims. The number is still a minority, which is only about 0.5% of the total population of 8.2 million. The development of Islamic preaching in Virginia is also inseparable from the role of Islamic organizations, of which there are quite a lot there. The Islamic Center of Virginia is one of them. This non-profit Islamic organization plays an important role in the Muslim community. Based in the Richmond area, the organization houses Muslims in Central Virginia. The organization opens Islamic learning classes, both for children, adults, and converts. Not only that, they also manage zakat and infaq and publish an annual Islamic magazine and calendar. Both are distributed to Muslims in Virginia for free. 6. Michigan. In a first in U.S. history, Muslims have taken control of a city council in the state of Michigan. The city of Hamtramck in Michigan has become the first city in the U.S. to elect an all-Muslim city council. This reflects a more racially diverse landscape in local government in the U.S. In last week's local elections, 3 candidates, Khalil Rifai, Amanda Jackowski, and Adam Albermaki, won elections to the Hamtramck City Council. Muslim population percentage, 2.4%. Muslim population, 241,828. Michigan attracted many Muslim immigrants towards the end of the 20th century. The largest ethnic group among Muslims in Michigan is Arab. The first mosque in Michigan was established in Detroit. Today, there are many mosques in the state, including the Islamic Center of America, ICA, in Dearborn, the Yemeni American Community Center, YACC, in Dearborn, and the Islamic House of Wisdom, IHW, in Ann Arbor. Michigan, part of the greater Detroit area, also elected its first Muslim mayor, Amir Ghalib, to fill out the city's government. The Muslim Public Affairs Council, a national American Muslim advocacy and public policy organization, said it is the first and only city they know of to have an all-Muslim councilor and mayor. It's important to remember that even though we are all Muslim, we were elected through a process set forth by the United States, Michigan, Wayne County, and Hamtramck. We will all take an oath to protect the Constitution of the United States, and that includes the concept of separation of church and state. About half of the city's nearly 29,000 residents are estimated to be Muslim, with many of them of Arab and South Asian ethnicities, according to census data. The policy program manager at the Muslim Public Affairs Council, or MPAC, who is also a Michigan native, said the city began as a hub for Polish-American immigrants and later became a haven for other immigrants as well. 5 of the city's Michigan City Council members are immigrants, and 1 is a convert, according to the Free Press. Muslim Americans were also elected to their first mayoral seats in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights. MPAC Chief Operating Officer Rami Khan said the wins show a trend toward leadership that is more reflective of its community. This year's Eid al-Fitr will be different for the Muslim community in Michigan. The chairman of the Michigan Muslim Community Council, Mahmoud al-Hadidi, said that this year there will be no congregational Eid prayers at mosques, no communal meals, and no carnivals at night. Residents in Southeast Michigan, which is home to the largest Muslim community in the United States, U.S., have found innovative ways to fill the 3-day Eid holiday. Eid sermons in Michigan will be broadcast live on social media and local television. After listening to the sermons, Muslims in Michigan can come to the mosque to enjoy Eid entertainment while still maintaining social distancing. 7. Maryland. Islam in Maryland is part of a growing religious community in the state. The Muslim population in Maryland has grown significantly in recent decades. According to various estimates, there are between 119 and 250,000 Muslims living in Maryland. They contribute in various fields such as education, business, health, and government. This population reflects the diversity of Islam, with the presence of Sunni, Shia, Ahmadiyya, and others. Maryland is also home to a number of Islamic organizations that are active in interfaith dialogue and social activities to strengthen ties between the Muslim community and the wider community. Muslims in Maryland are active in social and cultural life. They often hold festivals, fairs, and cultural events that are open to the public. This provides them with an opportunity to share their Islamic culture and traditions with the wider community, as well as build good relations with their non-Muslim neighbors. Muslim population percentage, 3.1% number of Muslims, 914. The Muslim population in Maryland grew rapidly in the second half of the 20th century due to immigration from various countries, especially Pakistan and Bangladesh. Today, the community represents a mix of different races, ethnicities, and sects. Furthermore, the state is filled with mosques and Islamic centers that serve as places of worship education, and community activities. Some of these include the Islamic Society of Baltimore, ISB, the Muslim Community Center, MCC, and the Islamic Center of Maryland, ICOM. Muslims in Maryland, United States, have a different way of bringing issues to the attention of local officials. They gather and organize door-to-door lobbying to get local officials to listen to the concerns and issues facing Maryland Muslims. They were trying to lobby politicians about a policy currently under consideration by the Maryland General Assembly. The day before, the Muslim community, both young and old, had met with the primary goal of meeting with lawmakers to discuss the hate crimes bill and asking what politicians were doing to oppose it. Countering violent extremism, CVE programs are ineffective and unconstitutional. Once the Muslim community had gathered, Muslim activists representing a variety of ethnicities and denominations presented a series of talking points about key issues they needed to discuss before meeting with delegates who were willing to hear input and concerns from Maryland's Muslim community. 8. New Jersey. 40 years seems like a long time to achieve a dream. That may be why the Muslim community in New Jersey was filled with joy as they put the finishing touches on their long-awaited mosque. Percentage of Muslim population, 3.5%. Total Muslim population, 321,652. New Jersey is home to a large number of Muslim immigrants. New Jersey's diverse Muslim community includes Asians, Arabs, and African Americans. After the first mosque was established in New Jersey in the early 20th century, many more mosques were established throughout the state. Notable mosques and centers include the Islamic Society of Central Jersey, ISCJ, the Islamic Organization of North America, IONA, and Masjid al-Nur Patterson. "I think this building is a manifestation of the community's dream," said Arshad Chattah, president of the Jersey City-based Muslim Federation of New Jersey. Workers are now finishing the mosque's dome and railings as local Muslims celebrate a time that took decades to complete. For years, the thriving Muslim community has prayed in a converted Chinese restaurant and bar. The mosque has given them a 3-story prayer room with a green dome that gleams in the sunlight. He considered the presence of the worship building to be an important thing to do. So far, local Muslims have had to perform their worship in mosques located in church basements, above storage facilities, or above apartments. Based on existing calculations, the construction of this mosque will be completed in September or October. The large house of worship will be able to accommodate more than 2,000 people at once. One Muslim in New Jersey, Saad Admani, believes that this new building will motivate the younger generation of Muslims to participate in youth programs. If everyone wants to think about how much their parents contribute, it is truly extraordinary because they are immigrants. They came here, built a mosque in difficult times, and mobilized the community to build a mosque, which has a specific purpose. "It is truly extraordinary," Admani said. "The mosque is the heart of the Muslim community, standing strong as a physical example of the Islamic faith. The building serves as a place for prayer, events during Ramadan, and as a center for education and information. Its presence can also be used as a place for social welfare." 9. New York. Muslim population percentage, 3.6%. Muslim population, 724 out of 475. New York has the largest total Muslim population in the United States. It is a cosmopolitan state with a diverse population. There are large Muslim communities in cities like New York City and Buffalo. Many Muslims came to New York in the 1980s and 1990s as refugees or green card recipients. Many of these Muslims come from the Middle East, South Asia, Africa, and Southeast Asia. The state is home to several mosques and Muslim community centers, such as the Islamic Cultural Center of New York, ICCNY, and the Malcolm Shabazz Mosque. In fact, Greater New York City has the largest number of mosques in the country. The Muslim population in New York City is estimated to be around 10% of the city's total population, which means there are between 775 and 1 million Muslims in the city. This community is very diverse, including immigrants from many countries, as well as descendants of Muslim communities that have long lived in the United States. There are many mosques and Islamic community centers in New York City that provide places for worship, as well as social and educational activities. These mosques are also often centers for religious events and celebrations of major holidays. Many members of the Muslim community are involved in local politics and civil rights advocacy. They work to promote equality, justice, and inclusion in society. Number 10. Illinois. More than 200 guests, including politicians, religious leaders, and local residents, gathered at the Masjid al-Huda Midwest Islamic Center in Schaumburg, Illinois, United States. People from all faith backgrounds in Schaumburg were invited to visit the Masjid al-Huda Midwest Islamic Center during the Masjid al-Huda's annual Open Day. Each year, the Masjid al-Huda Mosque in Schaumburg opens its doors to friends and neighbors of the mosque to ask questions, talk, and eat with the Muslim community. Each mosque has food, presentations, and tours prepared for visitors. The Islamic Center hosted guests in the main prayer room, which was filled with informative writings about Islam and Muslims. The event began with a recitation of the Quran. Percentage of Muslim population, 3.7% number of Muslim residents, 473, 792. Illinois has the highest percentage of Muslim population in the United States. Chicago is a culturally diverse center with a significant concentration of Muslims. There are more than 50 mosques in the Chicago area. Among the most prominent are Masjid Darul Islam in Bloomingdale and the Muslim Community Center, MCC, in Chicago. These communities are comprised of people from diverse cultures and ethnicities whose roots can be traced to South Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Highlights of the day at Masjid al-Huda included guided tours of the mosque, an Islamic exhibit, a Q&A session that gave a panel of expert imams the opportunity to clear up any misconceptions non-Muslim visitors may have about the Islamic faith, and a variety of family-oriented activities. The hospitality of the Muslim community in Illinois can be seen through a variety of initiatives and activities that reflect the values of inclusivity and respect. Many mosques and Muslim organizations in Illinois are involved in charitable activities, interfaith dialogue, and providing services to the wider community. For example, several mosques host events open to the public aimed at introducing Islamic culture and traditions and building bridges between communities. In Chicago, one of Illinois' largest cities, there are a variety of programs and events supported by the Muslim community to help those in need, including providing food drives and support for immigrants. In addition, there are also dialogue forums that facilitate conversations between various ethnic and religious groups, strengthening mutual understanding and tolerance. Muslim friends who are blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those were the 10 states with the largest Muslim population in the United States. Hopefully this video is useful, and see you in our next video.